let's set off. Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Wang Chigang and it's a pleasure to be here with you all today. Today we've come outdoors to do something interesting. We're going to use this wind machine to blow on our new tent model. This wind machine is actually a snow machine that we've modified. According to the data, it can reach level 10 winds. Let's take a look at its power. Now we've arrived at the riverside and we're about to set up our new tent, the Saga. Let's take a closer look at precisely how wind truly affects tents. Everyone, please take a good look. I've actually shared with you before in some detail about the crucial wind resistance capabilities of various tents. Besides the fundamental structure of the tent itself and the specific materials used, such as the impressive tear strength of the fabric and the inherent sturdiness of the poles, I personally think the single most important factor is practical experience. That is to say, we should always try our very best to set up the tent properly before the strong wind even arrives. Of course, sometimes it's completely unavoidable that we unfortunately have to pitch a tent in genuinely windy conditions. So we also need enough experience. And finally, one last thing I want to mention about a tent's wind resistance, there's actually a crucial aspect that most people overlook, which is the tent stake I'm holding in my hand. The longer the tent stake, the more secure it is. Let's take a look. This is a 16 centimeter tent stake. This is a 20 centimeter tent stake. This is a 30 centimeter tent stake. Let's take a look at how it behaves under force. My hand is already worn out. So the longer the ground stake, the more secure it is. I participated in wind tunnel tests in Korea twice, once in 2005 and once in 2008. One was at a Korean military facility and the other was at the DAC wind tunnel. We experienced the force of the wind firsthand, but during the wind tunnel tests, we could see that usually the wind only blows on one side of the tent. Many people question the overall wind resistance of tents. So today we're going to use our modified blower to test it out. A tent is a true outdoor environment. Let's analyze objectively. Before testing the tent, let me first experience the power of the wind turbine. Let's go. Just now, everyone saw the lateral wind resistance performance of the Saga tent. We used measuring instruments to test it, and the wind force reached level 9, yet the entire tent remained completely unaffected. To make the wind resistance performance of this tent more convincing, we placed the tent lengthwise. Now let's take another look at how this tent performs. The longitudinal wind resistance test for the Saga tent has now been completed. We just subjected it to about 15 minutes of wind and the entire tent held up perfectly. Moreover, thanks to the addition of the trekking pole design, the tent's overall resistance to pressure has been significantly enhanced. So even if it snows and the snow piles up on top, the entire tent remains very sturdy. Of course, we also feel that this tent might still have some imperfections. If there are any aspects we haven't considered, we hope everyone can provide us with valuable suggestions in the comment section. We will make further additions and tests based on everyone's feedback, hoping to make it closer to what you all want. Thank you, everyone.